Hi third graders, this is Miss Glines teaching from my house to yours. Today in math, what we are going to do is we are going to be covering measurement. For measurement, this might be a review lesson for many of you, but for some, this might be your first time doing it with an actual ruler instead of with non-standard measurement. So what we are going to be doing today is we are going to be measuring everyday objects. Maybe objects in your house, maybe even in your bedroom, maybe the kitchen, maybe even on your body. You can measure your fingers, your hair. You can measure lots of things. Measurement is all around us. So to start this off, let's just think for a second. Just close your eyes, maybe put your thinking cap on. Just think for a second. What are some things that you can measure? Or how do you measure some things? So say if I wanted to measure my marker, what are some rules that I have to remember when I measure my marker? I know one rule that I have to remember is to make sure that I start at the end. Sometimes the zero doesn't start right at the end of the ruler, but starts a little ways in. So when you start, you want to make sure that you line your marker up with the zero on your ruler. Another thing that I remember is that you have to make sure your object is straight like a marker. If I had an object maybe like my cord right here, and I tried to measure it and I had a loop in it, I wouldn't have an accurate measurement because then if I pulled it straight, it would be even longer than that. So make sure that your object is a straight object that you can measure. If you have an object that has multiple, maybe like my paper clips here, you want to make sure that they are end to end, that they're touching, that they're not overlapping, and that they don't have big gaps before we start measuring them. So those are just a couple of those little rules that you have to remember when you are measuring with your ruler, okay? So like I said earlier, what we are going to be doing today is measuring everyday objects in our house. So I will start and show you how a couple of the objects that I found in my house that I'm going to measure. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to start with our table. So this is on your slideshow. I just decided to write it on a piece of paper because it makes it a little bit easier for me to show you how to do it. So I just went around my house and I found I just found this colored pencil, and this is what I'm going to practice with measurement. You are going to find 3 different objects to measure, and I'm just going to show you on my colored pencil that I found. So you're going to start by, we know that we can just write on my object line that this is going to be a colored pencil. And then you're going to look at it. It's about this long. I'm going to think that maybe it's, let's say 9 inches, okay? So I'm going to put 9 inches here. Okay, and then now what we're going to do is we're going to find our actual measurement. So with our actual measurement, you're going to remember back to how you measure with your ruler. Remember that we're kind of looking for our inch side and not our centimeter side. Inches are always bigger. And we're going to take our object. Since it's not a double, we know we don't have to worry about overlapping or gaps. But we're going to remember to line it up right at the 0, okay? Have it lined up right here at the 0. And then we're going to stretch it out, and it comes about right to this line here. So when we have it come to that line, we know that it's 6 full inches, 7 full inches, and it's right in between the 8 and 7. So that makes it 7.5 inches. So I can write 7.5 inches. Okay, and make sure we got our start at our 0. We're going to 7, not quite to 8, but to 7.5 inches here. Another thing, if you don't have a ruler, you can go around your house and you can find something that is you have multiples of that you might be able to use for non-standard measurement. So something that I know that I have is some paper clips. If we were going to measure with paper clips, here's another thing that we have to remember. Let's put it on here because you can't really see it. If we put it on, if we start with it, we're going to make sure that our paper clip goes right up to the end, just like it was the 0. And then your paper clips are going to go end to end in a straight line across so that we can measure this. This is non-standard because remember when we tried it with the chairs, the one time that the paper clips were, some were small, some were big, and then I had that jumbo paper clip. So this colored pencil is actually like perfectly 4 paper clips long. So that could be, I could write 4 paper clips here. If I didn't write paper clips behind it, you might think it's 4 inches. And you can clearly tell that it's 7.5 inches long. You can also go and I found some cereal. I can use some cereal, stack it end to end. And then you can also measure with cereal how long it is to the pencil. Okay. So once you get all of these stacked line to end, or end to end, then we know, let's see, that it is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of my cereal long. Might be a little bit more, but we can put 10 cereal squares. We can put 10 squares. Okay, so that's just how you are going to do it. You're going to be doing 3 different things. You can hopefully you have a ruler. If you have a ruler, that's what I would love for you to use, especially finding those 1/2 and 1/4 inches along with the inch. Try to find, so I have a 1/2. The next object I'd try to find would be either 1/4 inch or 3/4 inches. And then the next object I'd find is try to find a whole inch. So 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, any of those inches that we can have. Okay, so this is going to be what your lesson is for today, measuring everyday objects in your house. So once you've finished with your 3 objects, just like the colored pencil that I did, then you are going to go onto your math boxes and then into your choice board. There's 3 activities in the choice board. I would like you to pick 1 to try. If you have extra time and you would like to do 2 or 3 activities, that's even better. That's just going to give you that added knowledge and that extra practice on measurement that's going to help you even more when we start doing the other kind, like the more in-depth measurement. So with that being said, that is all I have for you today. Just get out there and start measuring your objects in your house. Just some things, just keep practicing on your measurement. And I hope you have a great day, 3rd graders. Bye.